Alright, today we're gonna do something new. A brand new-ish series for the channel, where I will be asking you guys directly for thoughts and opinions on pretty much anything, and then I'll break down all the best and worst responses in a video like this one. And since this is our big debut of the series, it seemed fitting to start with a Call of Duty episode. So I asked you guys for any and all Call of Duty hot takes, and we got some pretty interesting responses, so let's not drag this out. Modern Warfare 2 is the worst Call of Duty ever made. Alright, so we have this discussion every year. Anyone who's been a part of the CoD community for more than a few years is probably already getting deja vu. Every year, the new Call of Duty is somehow the worst one ever, or at least that's what the community would have you believe. Now, I'm not necessarily trying to defend the game here because most of you know that I actually do hate Modern Warfare 22, but people can be so dramatic sometimes, so I'm just trying to keep it real. The game is fairly solid. It looks good, the animations and the sound design are absolutely world-class, and the gameplay, although definitely not my preferred style, is well made, and I would understand if there are people out there that love it. Like I talked about in my last video, I think the biggest problem that the game has is a lack of focus. Trying to support a battle royale, extraction mode, a 2v2 mode, a 6v6 mode, a PvE mode, and even more all at once. A jack of all trades, but a master of none. I think for most people, the game could have been a hit had they focused on only one or two main modes. For me personally though, the excruciatingly slow movement and massive maps are really the main reason why I don't enjoy the game too much. So, worst CoD ever made? I don't think so. But I would definitely say that this is my least favorite CoD since the live service era, which started with Black Ops 4 in 2018. I prefer the old map pack model to the new free seasonal model. I've actually been seeing a lot of this lately. In case you're not up to date on the map packs versus seasonal model lore, here's a quick refresher. Before Call of Duty became a live service, new maps would come to the game via map packs that would drop 4 times during the game's life cycle. Each map had about 4 multiplayer maps, plus maybe a zombies map if it was a Black Ops game. So back then, the content drops were bigger but less frequent. The other big difference is that these were paid expansions to the game. Each one would set you back about $15, and if you didn't buy it, you got nothing. The game would stay the same to you. Nowadays, we have the seasonal model, where all the playable content like guns and maps come for free. And you have the option to buy a premium battle pass which has cosmetic items only. This is sustainable because of the new emphasis on paid cosmetics as a whole. The in-game shop is constantly being updated with $20 bundles, which you might notice is more expensive than the old map packs used to be. And it's rare that you'll actually get any good-looking cosmetics for free, since charging for them is now the lifeblood of the game. So which is better, the map pack model or the seasonal model? There are obviously pros and cons to each one, but as much as I hate Call of Duty's terrible battle passes and overpriced skins, it is pretty awesome that everyone gets all the maps for free. And same goes for weapons. This way we can avoid a situation where they add a new gun into the game that's super overpowered, but you can only get it by buying it, which has happened in the past. Although now that I'm thinking about it, we actually do kind of have this problem now with the seasonal model, since when they add new guns into the game, they add it into the free battle pass, meaning that you have to grind the game for a few hours before getting them, or you can just conveniently buy a bundle from the shop, which will give you access to the gun instantly. So the seasonal model has its flaws for sure, but I do think that it's still overall better than the paid map packs. Also, free content updates are pretty much ubiquitous nowadays, with Apex Legends and Fortnite doing the same. That being said, I would like to see a lot of improvements made to the cosmetics being sold, and I'd like to see any gameplay altering items like weapons be taken out of the battle pass completely. Black Ops 1 forever. It is very well documented on this channel that Black Ops 1 is my favorite Call of Duty ever. I don't really have anything else to add here. I just wanted to say from one BO1 enjoyer to another, thank you for your comment. Most CODs are fun, even Advanced Warfare, Ghosts, and Cold War. It's just the internet that makes people think like a hive mind. If the YouTubers say it, the community says it. So as far as that first part goes, yes, Call of Duty is fun. I mean, there's a reason I've played it for half my life. I enjoy it. And I think that's something that players can lose sight of when all they do is complain about the game everywhere. As for the second part of that comment about the community being something of a hive mind, I'd also agree with you there. I think we all have a tendency at times to hear an opinion from someone that we trust or respect, and then we kind of take that opinion on as our own. And as a result, in the COD community, sometimes you just hear the same recycled opinions over and over again. And I do realize the irony of me talking about this as a YouTuber who's putting his opinions out there, but it's never been my intention to make people mindlessly agree with me. I think we should all just try to be as true to ourselves as we can, as cheesy as that sounds. Personally, I feel like some sometimes I do genuinely agree with the Call of Duty hive mind, and sometimes I don't. With Vanguard, for example, I actually had a lot of fun playing that game, and I made that known in my Vanguard review. People clowned on me, and they still do, but it's just the truth. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, you should all start having the same opinion as me. I'm kidding. Just take a step back and think for yourself every once in a while. This super speed movement of new Call of Duties is awful. I can appreciate that the new Modern Warfare games are slower, but they haven't curtailed the maps to match that speed. I don't want to feel like I have to be on Adderall to stand a chance against these super movement people like in MW 2019. I know that there's a lot of different opinions out there on the whole movement situation in Call of Duty nowadays. If you've watched any episode of CoDology, then you know that I am a movement addict. I like my Call of Duty games and my FPS games just in general to have fast movement, snappy sliding, high jumping, quick mantling, all that. But I do understand that none of the Call of Duties from the golden era played like that. People weren't slide canceling and bunny hopping back in the original Modern Warfare 2. So I get that people wish the current games could go back to that style of movement. To give Infinity Ward some credit here, I think they did that with Modern Warfare 2. But yeah, like they say in the comment, the new maps they've created to go along with the new limited movement are so big that it just makes the game feel even more slow. So it's kind of a double whammy. They slowed down the movement and blew up the maps. So even though I'd prefer it if there were more movement technique, we definitely agree on the map situation in MW22. The map size is not helping anyone. I swear it's like a scavenger hunt just trying to find someone to shoot at sometimes. Black Ops 4 is easily a top 5 COD. I don't know who left this one, but this guy's got a really good point. Black Ops 4 is the Call of Duty that really got me back into the franchise after not playing too much during the advanced movement era. So I have a lot of good memories with this game, but as time goes on, I look back at it and honestly, I start to like it even more. The movement in this game was the fastest and most fluid we've ever seen in COD, while also being boots on the ground. The long time to kill of the game allowed for engaging gunfights and a high skill ceiling. Weapons were fun and unique. The hero abilities, while annoying sometimes, did at least bring something new to the table. And Black Ops 4 gave us Blackout, which is arguably a better battle royale than Warzone ever was. The zombies mode was far from my favorite, but it did give us Gauntlet mode, which I think is hilariously underrated, and we did actually get some solid zombies maps. So yeah, I'm not scared to admit it. Black Ops 4 is a top 5 COD for me, end of discussion. Cold War was good. Cold War, I think, was given a really hard time because it had to follow up MW19, which was just such a booming success with Warzone and all the broken movement tech, but I do think that the game was a lot of fun. To me, it basically felt like Black Ops 4 with a slightly faster TTK and no character abilities, which is like heaven right there. Visually and sound-wise, it definitely did not live up to MW19, but personally, I think the actual gameplay is a lot more important than that stuff. So yeah, I loved Cold War. I played the crap out of that game, and that seems like a good place to call it. Thank you so much for watching this very first episode of this brand new series I'm trying to get going. If you liked it, if you have some feedback, let me know. And if you want to be a part of the next episode, you can subscribe and keep your eye out for a community post, because that's where I'll put the next prompt. Thank you for watching, and stay gold.